It's a good place to be next to a guy like this.
Well, let's go. Let's just jump into some games here, man. We got game number 2 coming up now. Once again, we're going to be taking a look at Sentinels at the start of this one. And Sentinels, I think, always come with them just, you know, the story, the drama, the hype, the intrigue. Sentinels bring it all.
I mean, this is a team that definitely knows what they're doing as far as playing the game, and they're one of the most respected teams. It's why they're getting a spot such as Sorting Factory with such high-tier loot and so much ability to kind of get geared out in the early part of it. But there's a big story because they do have to keep finding these rotations, and usually they're playing off of teams that they know. Bravo mentioned that a lot before. We'll see how they can adjust in a little bit of a different lobby, not necessarily with those teams that they're constantly scrimming.
Yeah, and then we have Fire. That we had discussed, Fire, me, and Dreadnought before about how this team felt like that they were overlooked. And we said, well, if you don't want to be overlooked, get in and compete with the best of the best. And that's exactly what Fire is doing here. So we certainly cannot ignore them anymore. And already at the breaker, Bowser with that flat line.
It is fat, though.
No, it is fat. And the triple take, which... do you think that we'll see that triple take make it all the way to the end?
It's so interesting because we saw Onmu actually. Yeah, you got the answer to it. But we did see Onmu last game actually holding Epicenter at the top with the triple take. And we saw G-Dolphin actually playing with a longbow. And although the Scout is the meta, does that mean that you have to play it? No, absolutely not. Yeah. And I think GB, we will see it. And sometimes it's desperation. Sometimes it's a little bit of style. But I think most of all, it's having distance and being able to support as far as your role when your teammate's pushing and you have to stay back and kind of hold your area.
And also with the G7 Scout, players have really just been opting for this nice passive play, really give themselves some zone coverage, if you will, have this weapon that can clear out so much space, and people are just going to continue to take advantage of the strength of the G7, but also just the strength of range in general that I think we're seeing here in Apex Legends, right? Players just really... especially at the top level of play, you don't want to risk it for the biscuit and push in way too aggressively too much, right? Like you would do in a pub lobby.
No, absolutely. I mean, you get biscuits in the morning. Don't need to do it here when you're playing for potentially $500,000.
Think about the calories.
Exactly, my man. I mean, not after 6 p.m. Come on, it's starting.
Like we already know.
Summer is 5 months away. It's shredding season, okay?
Exactly.
We're trying to get lean and mean. And it's little things like this. You see a great loadout here. We were just talking about some of these guys here. But Team Smile going in, Musin Flower as well with the Wingman, the level 3 heavy extended mag. Huge difference in damage in that magazine. Goes from 4 to 10 with the level 3, and that just means that you've got essentially so much firepower, but poking power as well. So he's opting no scout, no R9, takes the PK. He's close range. He's strong close range, and he's also got some pressure.
And I think that's the most important takeaway that you said from that, the poking power.
Yeah.
Yes, you can do that with the G7 for sure, but the advantage that you get with that Wingman is that if you want to get up close with it, you can.
Yeah.
You can have a good time with that weapon if you want to get up close in someone's face. But then, you know, in case, let's say, theoretically, you lose out on all your PK shots, you got the Wingman there to clean up as well with the heavy damage. But there goes some shots now as Brood, Force, and Promo, they're going to just drift away. This is Little Poggy's the winner of game number 1. Let's see if they're able to replicate that success again here in game 2.
Decently geared out here as far as, you know, having a blue, but it's not where you want to be, and especially with the RE45 R99. We talked about using bullets. Those are probably 2 of the guns that will use light ammo the most outside of a G7, tagging along with that or an R301. So you have to wonder if they feel confident heading into this after such a strong performance. People, when they see a knock from that team, will be saying, okay, we need to push these guys because they're already in a fantastic position to qualify top 5.
And I think that's why, you know, that instance, they said, nope, I'm not going to take this fight. Oh, Fire.
Hello.
Like that. Right around the corner. Some tags there with that R99, which we had talked about extensively just a little while ago, but Bert's going to just drift away there. Put the fear, get some shots in. It just shows that great awareness from this team that because they did that, it's going to slow down those players inside of the tunnel, and they could just get out of there scot-free. A little tagged up, a little bruised, but they'll be okay, and they're ready for this next fight if it comes.
And it is coming. They did spot somebody else, so they're going to go into these buildings. But the rotations, we talk about that in Apex as a big deal, but you don't know why. The reason is if you're watching this game and saying, what does it matter that they made it through Tunnel first, well, that other team has got to go through tunnel, or they've got to completely reroute and run into places they don't know, they haven't scouted. And so the fact that they're there first means they can hold it. It means that you've got to go through them. You've got to fight through a choke. You're predictable, and you're also at a disadvantage because you're running into damage, not the ability to escape from it. And that is why those early rotations sometimes make the difference between a team setting themselves up for a good final circle.
Yeah, when you listen to people talk about how to play Apex Legends, rotations, rotations, rotations. That is the #1 word that you would hear so much, because players, they have to recognize how they're going to just move around the map so that this way they don't put themselves in positions that could potentially ruin their gameplay experience. Their gaming experience.
Their gaming experience. They need the
bunch
4K.
of gamers, all these kids.
I mean, these guys, you know, looking at these setups, man, I mean, as a kid, when I was this age, and I'm a young man of 29, okay, Brav is like an old man of 30.
32.
He's just so much older than me. I don't know what his generation was like. They probably didn't even have cars back then. I don't know how he got around. But
well, I'm 32, so what does that make me?
I said he's 31. You're 32. You're fine. You're like mature. He's like not mature yet, but he's still really old.
I mean, I wake up in the morning, I feel like it's got hit by a truck.
I don't know what that hand sign is, but
the bird is a word. All right. Well, now we got Rogue here. Dropped Sweet Dreams and Huskers. And they're going to just continue to have fun with fences.
Yeah.
Fun with Fences should be the name of an Apex-centered show. Maybe we'll make a podcast, Fun with Fences.
Like, you don't need more podcasts to do. But, I mean, in all seriousness, this team is in such a great position. They know how to play the game so much better than a lot of other teams that you're going to run across. And all of these teams in this lobby know how to play Apex at a high level. But Rogue specifically are so good mechanically at executing. And also I find that they find a balance between being aggressive and also biding their time. Which isn't always easy as we get the Sentinels in trouble, GB.
Yeah, Zoms just took a chunk of damage. This is kind of looking like a little deja vu situation here where Sentinels, they were in a two-story. They got clapped earlier. This was not the position that Sentinels wanted to be in. We were watching some of their games, and they kind of sometimes struggle in these close-range situations. Maybe I'm speaking out of turn here, but sometimes, man, you know, when you're in these buildings, people can just throw some nades in there. That's when you want to put down that Watson generator, give you some kind of protection. You always need to be careful in these close encounter scenarios. More fences as well. Fun with Fences, starring Sentinels.
And Zenox just having fun with the Watson as well. I mean, it's fun when you're able to poke and get that passive regen like they're doing now. Any of these sniper fights are most likely going to tilt towards Sentinel's way. As you see Zenox, look at that blue shield just passively generating. He doesn't have to waste resources. He doesn't have to shield cell, which is so important because that final circle, you don't have time to wait this long when a fight's happening. So he's saving those resources, still being able to gauge in a fight. Just has to take a little 30-second break.
Good this way.
Then onward to RCO White. You got Gabe is Money, Hill, and Zenial. Gabe, a great player in his own right, looking for a little bit of redemption in this competition. Want to prove himself to not only himself, but also to the competitive Apex community at large. Zenial, though, with some shots with a charge rifle from downtown. It's got that nice big scope on there.
Nice to see the 4x8 as well. Don't often see it on a charge rifle right now. It's a classic combo, though. Start of Season 3, this was terrifying a lot of people. But RCO,
this was it.
This was it. This was Season 3 for a while.
This was everything, that charge rifle. Such a powerful weapon.
And you can see why. I mean, the hit scan pressure, even though it's not as much damage as it is, obviously the ammo consumption is heavier. You don't have any more extended mags, so you've got 4 shots on it at max. It's pressure.
But look at the hit scan damage that you're just going to get from here.
Yeah.
From
it's
here.
Crazy.
Like, look how far he is. And all he does, if he gets that tag, he's doing damage instantly. Doesn't have to angle the shots like you would with a scout or with a longbow or even, you know, or with a triple take. You know, you're just getting shots from the distance.
Yeah, and it's a great thing. Rogue here setting up as well on one of the higher towers. This is a safe spot to be. Everyone biding their time again. You're not going to see most of these big fights, GB, until hopefully the top 10, because these teams know that points are still really not gotten through much except winning a couple of those late game fights. You can have 0 points, but if you get 2 team wipes in a top 3, that's about 12, 15 points to your name, and you're pretty much set up to qualify.
Golden Guardians Timmy gets a kill off screen. Hadn't really talked much about the Golden Guardians. I know that Lulu was, Lulu's a fan of the Golden Guardians. Wonder what they're going to be able to do here. Some more fights are going to be taking place as Hierarchy, Mooman, and Kubsky in the fray here.
Strong team. Stinky actually qualifying above TSM and a lot of other teams, Rogue, excuse me, as well, in that second semifinal. And so putting themselves in this position, they've done a lot of great work. Can they put it together against these teams in the final circle? So that's what we're trying to find out. Hierarchy has been so far a pretty much giant on the G7 with the 3 times. Nice mid-range scope. Gives you a little bit of long tapping, but also you can use it up close, as Lulu was talking about earlier on the couch.
And you know, I like the flatline. You know, I'm just a fan of that weapon.
Is that your go-to?
My go-to is the Prowler, and I know that no one's going with the Prowler here, so I totally understand. I love to go off meta all the time. It's a problem.
I mean, if you find that hop up though, man.
That's why I'm here talking about the game rather than playing the game.
It's right. What I mean? That's why we're up here.
If you get the hop up, it's wonderful.
It is full auto, man. That thing shreds.
But that is like probably the hardest thing in Planet Earth to find.
It is
the hop up.
I don't understand why either, but
I'll get 15 million turbochargers, won't get a hop up for select fire anywhere here. Well, in any case, enough of my woes with the Pathfinder, or with the Prowler, excuse me, has overpowered Arcan and Peach are going to be engaged in a fight here. Overpowered's going to go down, but RKN's able to just body Mooman there with the Wingman. Here comes his teammate there to back him up with that R99. Get some damage there on the big boy Gibby. Arcan backing up as that nade's going to be out there. His teammate's down, but he's got him in front of him. He just needs to play it patient.
Only has a white 2 GB. He's just going to try to go for a heal, but he's got the
charge rifle from downtown.
It's going to be horrible. He's backing up, and he's getting the shield regen, but he's got to stay line of sight if he wants it. He's going for the res. This is risky, though.
Yeah, you hear the res coming out. You got to get to these players and pick them up and try and pick them off as quickly as you can. But this is going to keep them in the game. Team Pro still in this one, Rain Day.
He's got overpowered as well, picked up first. Some might have gone for the Gibraltar first to get the shield down early, because then you get faster reses.
I think at that point you're just panicking.
But you're just panicking, exactly. At this point, he's just saying, can I get anyone up? And he does. Managing to get out of that was a tough situation, but luckily, RKN, he finds a way, and they live to see another day here.
Abrelelli and TSM getting a few kills as well. That's going to be one for Imperial. Hal is going to be in a fight now. There's going to dip out through that portal. There goes the Arcstar. Send him down, let him know who's boss there, force him away from their portal as TSM. They're going to continue on with this pressure, throwing more of that ordnance. That's going to be it down there.
Got Squidward.
Well done. From a team that I think a lot of people felt would be a threat in this competition. TSM, obviously, you know, a great squad, multi-time winner, the back-to-back-to-backs, right?
Yeah.
But Squidward in this particular online event have been very impressive.
Absolutely. Monsoon, Lou splitting up, but finding a great team with Nathan and Rocker, and then obviously adding Ludo. It's a dangerous combination, but TSM doing what they need to do. They've already got 3 points to their name. That was another team wipe. So as a team collectively, they're probably around 5. Maybe 6, which is huge, because most teams right now barely have a point, only top 15, unless they've been engaged in some of these skirmishes. So TSM setting themselves up again. Didn't do much game 1, but game 2 bouncing right back like we expected.
Is it going to be enough, though? And then while all that was going on, Rogue are still hanging out up here, and I don't blame them. They're playing that high ground gorgeously. They have the coverage. They have the vision. They don't need to sacrifice this spot right now. They're going to be in the safe zone when this ring closes, Rain Day.
And, you know, this is I talked about Fortress of Electricity for the Watson the other day, doing some segments. But that is the rinky-dinky fortress of security right there. Because it's one little thing. The Watson's hiding. She says, you don't want to commit off your high ground, so I'm just going to bet that you are not going to aggress onto me here. She knows if they push her, she's dead. But she's holding on for placement points. And at this point, that's what you got to do in a setting like this. I mean, if you can get anything, you're doing a favor for your team.
Well, I believe everyone is at 1 point right now.
Yeah.
Currently. Because when you're in that top 16, no one's getting any points.
Nope.
But now, get a placement point. That's nice. But I wonder, though, Rogue, is it, playing so passive here? Just concerns me because they're not racking up a lot of kills. But anyway, we'll worry about that in a little bit there. We got Silence, Golden Slurpee, and Hume
nice
here.
Thermite.
Great Thermite. That's just, chipping away at some of the damage and forcing them back.
And it looks like the Watson interception pylon actually went down late, because you saw the grenade actually got exploded, got destroyed, but the Thermite actually went through. So it seems like she just put it up. Right now, Slurpee is going to try to hit that a couple times. It takes about a few shots from the Wingman to actually get the interception pylon down, but he should have it after a few here. Seems like he's missing a couple, trying to go for the fight as well. It's two dangerous things that he's aiming at for sure. And there it is, it's destroyed. So they can push. Ordnance is now in play, and they don't have to be too aggressive to apply pressure.
Yeah, and you actually heard it, right? As soon as that generator went down, they were able to push in. No more trophy system ability, no more, blocking the Ordnance, but just in that moment in time there, they had that moment to just dip out, right?
Yeah.
At the very least, there's going to be a lot of loot there to grab, so they can just keep themselves right back in this game. As we go now over to Pro. Overpowered Peach, RKN playing around this ridge here. Some nades flying in. RKN's just going to dip around.
And they're just holding this spot nice and easy. They've got the interception pylon covered by Gibraltar's dome, and that is one of the best combos that these two players bring together. They make each of those individual things better. Inside the dome, you're getting more regen, you're getting safer regen, and you're protecting the thing that's giving you the regen with the dome. They know someone is behind them. The zone right now is going to hurt, though, so they've only got a few seconds, and I think they're just saying they must have been taken out. They're not a threat anymore, biding their time. But
you're also going to be waiting for cooldowns here, too,
That's
right?
true.
You're waiting for cool. Oh, man, I was just going to talk about what we were seeing here. One of the, I think that was going to be, that was Timmy. They ended up getting picked off by Gabe.
Uh-oh.
Abralelli, look at the shots. That's Rogue up above.
That was two as well. That was beautiful. The longbow actually went through, hit two players right there. And they've got such a good angle on Rogue. Rogue were in the safety of their tower like Rapunzel, but now they're thinking about letting the hair down because they do have to find a way out. Even though they are in the middle of the circle, they're just so pressured. I wonder
where can they go?
If they, I mean, they want to stay there, but the problem is the pressure right now. If they run out of resources with only 4 shield cells for Huskers, they've just got to make sure the interception pylon stays alive.
And they also have to hope that maybe that death box is to the right and left of them have some things to work with, right? Yeah. But even then, once you dip out of there, then, that's one less player that's going to be up top. Surely everyone's looking at Rogue right now.
Right.
Because they have the highest possible position you can have at this moment in time. It's a lot at stake here.
Snipe down G-Dolphin as well. Lost BCJ, but this team has had such good synergy since this swap. It's almost like Snipe Down's destiny to have teammates that feel like maybe they're better suited with somebody else. And Snipe Down maybe in the same way. He's been finding the best synergy, and I feel like he's found it here. But
well, Snipe Down, a long time, pro player. This guy knows talent.
He does.
He's been in this for such a long time. It's not a shocker that he's sitting here in the top 6 with such great players. There goes that longbow. It ain't going to be the scout this time around, Rain Day. It's the longbow making its gorgeous return back into competitive Apex. Hey, when in doubt, bust out the longbow. You got the devotion, too. I love it.
What a combo. Devo longbow. This is just nut stuff from Abralelli. It's the shot as well, but they got to go in. They're doing a little hop. They've got to commit. One gets dropped. It's reps. And Abralelli is going to fall as well. This is getting nuts, GB.
Yeah, this is not looking good. In TSM, unfortunately for them, it's going to be curtains here. Abralelli goes down. You got one more player down right below them. That's reps, and that is goodbye. Pro's going to be right below Rogue. 3 squads remaining.
And it's got to be Rogue. It's Arc. It's Pro here.
It's Rogue, Pro, and I think it might be Sniper Abusers.
It might be. If Snipe Down in that squad is still alive, but Rogue have a great spot here. They've got these arc stars going up. I believe the interception pylon. Oh no, it's going to explode. It's going to hit. But it didn't do any damage though, and so they're trying to loot. Arcane just trying to get as much as he can and not expose himself. They're pretty safe right here.
Yeah, they are. They will have to. Well, let me see here. No, they won't have to move when this circle, when this ring closes. So they'll still have this high ground.
And that goes to reason that Pro will still have the low ground. And so this is how you play these types of towers. One goes high, one goes low. It's equally as dangerous for both because when you're dropping, you have to hit the ground.
Oh, it's Hal! It's Hal!
TSM still alive!
TSM was out! Hal's still in it!
Oh my God, we've seen it before. Hal!
And they pushed up.
Tries to make a play here. It's going to be Hal taken down. He went for the beautiful play.
That was ambitious, man. I respect it. Oh, no, but Peach is going to be out of this. And Rogue, they've held this down. And if there's one thing Obi-Wan has taught us is that when you have the high ground, do not challenge him. Always listen to Ewan McGregor here, people.
And look at this, Pro looking to fight off Rogue, but Rogue are so good. The G7 with a hip fire. He's going to go down, though. Pro, RKN finds it. And it's just Huskers and drop now for Rogue.
Yeah, this is going to be a big fight now. You got RKN. Managed to take out Sweet.
Can't do it again.
Continues on here. It's dropped. Doesn't have true HP, but does have some shields. He's going to push up with that devotion. And there you have it. Oh, my goodness. They had the high ground, Evan. They had the high ground, and it didn't matter.
You know what? It's the tag team that you like to see.